Halloween ends, people. This is it. The end of a franchise, the end of an era. Halloween ends. This is the last movie. We promise. It's the last one. It even says it in the title of the film. Halloween ends. We promise we will never do another Halloween sequel or reboot or remake or whatever we do. We'll never do it. This is the last one. We promise you. Until until we decide in another 5 years we want to make another one. Well, yay! Another Halloween movie. Michael Myers will never die. Listen, no one believes this is the last movie. Nobody. The pattern won't allow it. It's impossible. You've conditioned us, Hollywood. You conditioned us to believe that no horror movie will ever end. No, a classic one anyway. You'll just keep fucking going. It doesn't matter. You think we believe you? Halloween ends. Clickbait. The most clickbaitiest fucking ending for a movie ever. Like, bullshit. We know it's a bullshit. In another 5 to 10 years, you'll, even after, like, you'll create a reboot, you'll have a remake, you'll have another sequel. Oh, just kidding, we gotta do another prequel, guys. A prequel to Michael Myers, even though we know his entire story. We just gotta do a prequel. A prequel for the prequel. A sequel to our sequel to our prequel. You know, it's just gonna keep fucking going. Doesn't matter, alright? I should get that off my chest. Don't let them fool you, alright? Don't let them fucking fool you. This series will never end, alright? Not until, all of California blows up in a puff of, galactic fucking murder smoke and kills everybody. Will this movie ever end? In this franchise, I mean. Sorry. Jesus Christ. Let's get into it. This movie isn't good by any means, shape, or form. Just like the other, movies in this threequel. I don't even know how to describe these movies. Are they a reboot? Are they a remake? They're not a remake. They can't be. But are they a sequel? They're a sequel to only one of the films, though. All the other films don't count. Are they decanonized? I don't know. Like, what about the other ones? Do they matter? Do they not matter? It's so weird. Anyway, this movie, it's so strange. The fact that it's as predictable as any, like, B horror movie you could get. Nothing original, nothing new. Not that being original means it's good. It's just, it's so predictable. You know everything's gonna happen. Let's not kid ourselves. This is a Michael Myers Halloween ends, slasher film. We know what it's gonna be about. Except Michael Myers is barely in the movie. It's his franchise, and he's fucking barely in it. He comes in at the very last minute of the movie. Not the very last minute, like the last 20 minutes, where he really, like, does his stuff, quote unquote. Not really, though. This entire movie, the entire plot of the movie is predicated on building this faux relationship between this character we've never met before and Laurie Strode's granddaughter. I cannot remember her name. Sorry, I guess. Honestly, I don't care. And that's the whole plot of the movie. This character, his name is Corey. He's a wannabe serial killer. Wannabe, as in he's an accidental serial killer. And then just turns evil. He becomes a victim into a psychopath for no reason. What, really, at all? It's not really clear why. Awful, horrible dialogue. There's a scene of dialogue where Laurie Strode is, like, talking to this guy. He's like, listen, there's two types of evil. People who are evil towards their tribe and people who are evil and they don't even know about it. You're the latter. I'm like, what the fuck? So this guy just becomes evil because he awakens his evilness for no reason. He met Michael Myers and he started killing people. But that's it. Michael Myers didn't even kill him when he oh my god, it's so stupid. He encounters Michael in the sewer. Strangeness of that statement. And Michael doesn't kill him because he looks into his eyes like, oh, you have the eyes like me, pure evil. It's ridiculous. The bullshit they spread out of their assholes. The webbing from their butts, all tangles everything up in this show, in this series. Sorry, this film. It's just honestly annoying. I'm not even particularly, I don't think this film is even bad, really. It's not technically bad. there is some like direct, like, oh my god, it's the most standard horror film you can have, just like the last two. It's nothing, again, it's nothing new or original. It's just as standard as you get. So you've seen it like a million times before. It just becomes boring while you're watching it. Besides the fact, again, that the plot isn't even centered really around Michael. It's centered around the relationship between Corey and Laurie's granddaughter, and they're like really trying to build this, this character up in this relationship, and I just don't care about them. I barely even care about Michael himself in his own franchise. Can you believe that? And he's barely in the film, so they should have just kept this like as a Michael goes on a super rampage 4 years later. He's in broad daylight now, not just at night. He's killing tons of people. Maybe he's just like super fucking tank maniac, like Jason X, just like destroying motherfuckers and cutting their heads off, crushing their skulls, blowing them up. As crazy as you can get. It's not even. It never gets to that level. I guess that's not the movie they wanted to make. But like as a suspense thriller horror movie, it sort of does its job. But it almost seems like the film wanted to make a different horror movie, but they wanted to use the characters and the clickbait of the franchise from the Halloween franchise and their moniker to plaster onto their own like plot. Why didn't you just make that horror movie? Don't use the characters from this franchise and put them into this film of this like completely different tonally different movie than the other like prequels is what you would call them, I guess, or just the other movies as a whole. It's like they wanted to make something else, but they had to use the moniker of the Halloween franchise in order to get those clickbait views, right? They're not even completely the same or irrelevant at all. But they're in there anyway. It's almost like Halo, the Halo show. How Halo wanted to tell a different sci-fi story, but it's using all the like the Halo monikers and everything. We have all these like characters from Halo just in the show doing things, but they're completely different from the aspects of the game. It's annoying. It's very annoying. I'm not into it. I'm not into it. Not that the movie was even really that bad. I would give it like a 4 to 5. Someone could probably move me up to a 6 if you really wanted to. Other than that, it's really average movie. It's everything you expect. Again, really a direction of the scenes, completely normal and predictable. The fight scenes are a little stupid, honestly. Most of the fight scenes I would complain about have to do with Laurie. It's really at the end of the movie when she fights Michael. It's like how do you do this? You're a 70 to 80-year-old woman fighting this other 70 to 80-year-old man, but he's like 3 feet taller than you and has the ability to like lift other people up with one hand, and for some reason you're the only person that can tango with him for more than 30 seconds without dying. How's that possible? Literally, she gets whipped around like the last scenes of the movie by Michael and is like fighting him off. Like, how are you doing this? You're old and you're a woman. Maybe you want to say that's sexist, but fuck off. You don't understand biology if you think that's sexist. You're both old. I think it's crazy that Michael himself can be doing these things. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's crazy. He shouldn't be able to move the way he does. He shouldn't have this like Michael doesn't like even feel pain at all. We don't even know. He gets stabbed and cut and doesn't feel anything or barely can. It doesn't matter. But how is Laurie able to fend this? If this motherfucker can't feel pain and gets stabbed, has the ability to just beat people with his fists, literally kill them with his hands. He doesn't even need a weapon. How is Laurie able to fend him off? It's just not. It's not realistic. Of course, nothing about these movies are ever realistic, right? I would like it's supposed to be though. They present it in a way that's supposed to be realistic, but it never is. It's just another thing that's just really annoying. I hate it so much. Oh man. Another super funny part of the scene. Michael is dead, by the way. He dies in this movie. He'll come back, doesn't matter. The most dramatic scene is like the ending where Laurie and her granddaughter like strap Michael to the top of their hood of their car and just drive his dead body to like the car dump and just put his body into a fucking meat grinder. They absolutely fucking destroy him. It's ridiculous. It was a cool scene, I guess, seeing his body get mangled up and his skull crushed by like the meat grinder. It was fucking barbaric though. Like, oh my god. The people have become the monsters, just like Michael. Michael has affected their psyches just as much as everyone in this town. Incredibly annoying. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this movie. This movie deserved like a different name. Didn't deserve the Halloween franchise. And we all know nothing. There's nothing really special about it at all. They should have just ended it. They should have had the sequel reboot with Laurie when she was a badass and she had the guns and stuff and she killed Michael in her house. He was they purified the evil soul with the fire of death or whatever, and that could have been the end, and it would have been decent. That movie was decent. Again, it was super tropey and very predictable, but we didn't have to go through these like two more movies of just bullshit. The kills even in this movie weren't very spectacular. There were some scenes that were like, oh, that's interesting. Um, that's about it. There isn't even really a lot of gory deaths in this film. There are a few, not a lot though. I would want more. I would just want more. Like just have Michael do it. It wasn't even Michael doing the kills. It was Corey, the wannabe serial killer. It was he was the one who was doing it. Oh, it's not even almost not even a film about Michael. It's so weird because it's his franchise, the Halloween franchise. I don't know what the fuck. All right, I think I'm done rambling, guys. You guys have a nice day. See ya.